Fantastic looking track. Obviously, it's not going to look like this on race day as it's forecast for rain. Practice should be sunny, but rain is quite likely to be heinously dry by comparison, and it certainly looks that way. Although it is starting to cloud over in about 10 minutes' time. Right, so Vanessa's properly good when it comes to feedback. Nicholas, totally awful. What's this? Expected form of 6. Interesting. Expected form of 7. Oh, I see. Megan, not a lot of anything going on there. Right, so we'll take we'll stick them both out and see what we get out of that. Let's have a look at the car setup. Oh, it's been a long time. Let's monkey with the setup immediately. High speed is what we want. So low downforce is the order of the day. 24 and 14.4 should do about nice. That's right on the edge. Right on the edge there. 14.5, 24.5. See if that gets us anything from Hazel. Meanwhile, the handling. Yes. That's less than ideal. It's as Bunger's suspension stiffness towards the softer end by a smidge, and those gear ratios. What up, top speed? No. Take it easy. We had a system that worked reasonably well with this last year. We'll leave the gear. We'll up the gear ratios a touch. In fact, we'll up them quite a bit. We'll take them to 75. See if we can't lock that down after one session. So we're going with the super soft. You are set up and good to go, Nicholas. Meanwhile, we'll do something similar here now. Now, Silvera's asking for much lower downforce. Now, she does have slightly different part setup than Mr. Nicholas, but I don't. To be honest, it's almost as though her engineers are recommending something else entirely. Let's ramp you up towards top speed there as well. Tire choice, slicks, absolutely. Let's get this done. We're not going to strip any weight off anything. The cars are already unreliable. I don't need to do anything else with that. Let's take the practice session. Okay, right. I'm going to pause here while I remember what all the buttons do. We'll send out Nicholas Hazel. Yep, we've been through this, Nick. Stints. Yep, yeah, that's all good. Tyre choice also good. Out you go, and to see if we can get a collision in the pit lane, we'll send out Vanessa at the same time. Off we go. Right, here we are. Oh, what do we got here? That's 2D, 3D. Okay, got it. So off we go for the start of the start of our practice session here. I'm going to set Silvera onto a high there, and we'll do the same with Hazel as well, and we'll see where it gets him. We'll tell him he can overtake, see if that does him any good. Now, given that he's got the better car, Silvera should not be able to withstand the brutal punishment from Nicholas Hazel. As you can see, this season we've got a slightly more daring cameraman who can zoom in just a little better than that. Here he goes. He's making his move. Do not collide with your teammate. And there he goes. He's putting his foot down. Yeah, that helped as she closes at the end of the first corner. And she's loving the handling. Well, okay, we'll see if you can love it a little bit more once you come in. Hazel sets a new fastest sector time, but he's the first person to do so. Therefore, I am not exactly surprised by that. Okay, right, well, this is all good. We'll bring Hazel in on the next lap. We'll bring Silvera in on this one. We'll let Hazel actually set a lap time. We'll space out our drivers there. Right, okay, so let's send her back out again, but have a look at the feedback that we've got so far. Not so much with the downforce. Handling's okay. Speed balance is terrible. Okay, right. Well, let's drop the downforce a little bit more, since it's recommending that we go with high speed stuff. I mean, that's properly aggressive. That might be a bridge too far. Let's go 12.6, 22.6 with that, because that'll make all the difference. We'll wang the speed balance out just a touch there. Leave the suspension more or less where it is. Yeah, we'll leave it more or less where it is. We'll take a good for this first time, and that'll be all right. There you go. Back out you go. As Hazel sets the fastest lap of 1:11. That's not so bad. But he can come in on the end of this one as Silvera preps to head out for her second run. Once again, we'll set her up accordingly. So Hans 00 has already beaten Hazel, as has Finger Puppet. Well, there you go. It was never destined to last. This is, of course, our best car, and when it comes down to it, it's a question of whether or not we're going to get any kind of performance out of it. So we'll send him back out again. Now, again, I saw there that the speed balance was reported as being poor. He's only okay with his downforce. This makes no sense to me. How he can want something radically different to his teammate is a bit of a mystery. Let's go 25. That's a big change. 25.5 we'll go with there. Gear ratios we'll drop those down some, and then great handling apparently. Okay, we'll go with that. How are those tyres looking there, Nikki? They're looking good enough to have another go. Go and have another go. Let's switch over to Silvera, who's out on the track at the moment. So Hans 00 has set a new fastest lap, but not by much, actually. Hazel's only half a second off the pace from his first stint, but that has now bumped him down into 7th. Seventh is okay. We'll probably let Silvera go the distance this time. It would be nice to get a time on her qualifying practice. We don't do qualifying. Qualifying is basically turn up. Can you get in the car? Oh, whatever I've done to the downforce, she doesn't think it's helping. Oh, that's decidedly bad news right there. So here we go. This should be. Is this the flying lap she's on now, or have we got one more to go? I suspect this is her flyer. Wolfrath, whose name is going to keep me entertained all season, I don't doubt. There you go, 1:12 for Silvera. That's rubbish. Anyway, Wolfrath is now number 1, which is marvellous. But we need to get these wing settings sorted out, because from the sounds of it, they're wrong at the moment. How's your tyre temperature? Tyre temperature's in the norm for Silvera. That she's performed so poorly is disheartening, to say the least. Alright, comes in after a 1-lap stint. Okay, right, downforce is now very poor. Wants more downforce. Well, okay then. Alright, and the speed balance is poor. Okay, so we had, with the first setup, okay, good, poor, and we've moved to very poor, great. We haven't moved it by a lot here. However, we're going to need to switch toward acceleration by quite some amount. So we're going to have to go this way, by the looks of it. What did we use the first time out? First time out was there. All right, keep going that way. Let's go. So it looks to me as though Hazel's expectations vis-a-vis car setup were significantly closer to the mark. So be it. Right, 15 and 25 we'll go with there. The handling is currently great. All right, in which case it was good, and then it's great. Good, great. Okay, more understeer. Let's stiffen that up a little. And then the speed balance is currently poor. Was, hold on, it was poor, is poor. Let's make it less poor, which we've already done by shifting towards acceleration. But I think if we ease this way just a touch more, maybe we'll get some magic out of that. What do you got left on your tyres? You've got enough for another couple of laps, I reckon. Go on, go and give it a go. Just don't crash the car. We should now switch over to watching Mr. Hazel as he's on his flying lap here. He's now 1.4 seconds away from a pace-setting time. So in the first sector, he was 0.4 of a second behind schedule. Perfect. And it would be nice if he managed to pull that back. With 4 minutes left to go, there really isn't that much time to pull either driver in. I mean, Hazel could do one more lap, which is arguably a really terrible decision on my part, and then we'll bring him in. And I want to get his setup knowledge up, if at all possible. But let's wheel him in. Silvera's going to have to pretty much stick with what she's got, I think. She's not going to get much of a chance to have another go, but we'll bring her in as well, and see if that makes a difference. Whatever I did to the speed balance is working, according to Nicholas Hazel. Let's up the tempo here. And let's zoom it out some. There you go. We can see. Oh, Silvera there just getting absolutely thrashed by whoever that is ahead of her. Kitasato on his outlap. Brilliant. Also, we're getting beaten by people with slower, in theory, tyres, which is far from ideal. Let's pause it up again. See if Mr. Hazel's any more chipper about life. Excellent downforce, great handling, good speed balance. So a little bit more towards acceleration on the speed balance there. If we shorten those ratios and a little bit, maybe just tweak the... That's a big tweak to the handling. Can we... there we go. We can tweak it a little bit by monkeying with the camber, which is not something we tend to do very often, but we're going to do it anyway. Get back out there. What do you got left on your tyres? Not a great deal, but it's going to rain anyway, so have some fresh tyres at the same time. There we go. Right, meanwhile, Madam Silvera is reporting great across the board. This is good. Okay. Well, it's not good, it's great. But I think we can possibly do better still. So a bit more understeer. Understeer there. That's the ticket. Let's just a smidge. Slightly better acceleration would also be welcome, I'm sure. And then just like another notchette on the downforce. So we're really talking tweaks at this point. Have some fresh tyres. You won't get through them. We can call that race scrubbing or some such. And we'll see if that gives you what you need in order to get us what we need. Remember, we're looking for a 9th place finish in this first race in order to maximise our potential income. But honestly, I'll take a finish from both cars. Would be a good place to start, because we are chasing 9th overall, and it would be nice to get close to that. To be honest, we finished 9th last season, so this is a particularly conservative estimate that I've given Kurt as to where we're going to finish, and it'll either work out or it won't. There we go. Silvera's finished. Didn't even finish the lap, but we have managed to get excellent downforce and handling, speed balance of great. That's a car she is particularly happy with, despite the fact it's not a great car. Speed balance is right on the money, says Nicholas Hazel. So forecast to come in, and there's Hazel coming in now. As is the case so regularly, we've done our best at putting these cars together, but we're just going to have suck it and see when it comes down to where we get on. So Hazel in the top 10, Vanessa in 15th. I mean, that's the car speaking. 8/100ths of a second between them, 8/10ths of a second, beg your pardon, between them. And, well, we're just going to have to see what happens on race day. Social media time. Young Ho Chang, career tips for Martino Pozzi. 1, retire. 2, retire. 3, admit that Archer BMR are the best, then retire. Oh, yeah. Young Ho Chang there with the smack talk. XBC Sport with Luke Finley Maxwell. Practice results first. You know, just reporting the results there, Luke. In-depth stuff. Meanwhile, Jonathan Weinstein from Channel 6, we never expected to see Wu Yao near the front today, but she really struggled out there. This works for me. So the forecast rain has yet to arrive, which is always hilarious. The pit stopping that comes from a change in the weather. What do we got here? It looks like it's staying warm. So we're gonna stay on slicks on super soft tyres initially, at least, and then we will try and gauge the weather to come in at an appropriate time. Meanwhile, Nicholas has learned something about, don't know. Car condition drops slower. Yeah, that might be useful. Race trim performance increase. We'll take the performance increase. And we'll make him a nurse. All right. Meanwhile, Vanessa. Oh, yeah, we'll take the performance increase. Pit stops now have a 15% reduced mistake chance. Okay. Maybe. Or do we go with better performance on the super softs? No, I mean, our parts are likely to fall apart. So you know, risky pit stops is not necessarily going to make any big differences there. I'm not going to touch weight stripping in this first race. I'm not going to touch it honestly until my my confidence in the parts that we've got has solidified a little. Right now then, hold on. Do we don't want to do anything with fuel? Starting fuel 14 laps. See, I think. See, you're already mucking with something that is best left alone. Leave that alone, and then with Vanessa, we shall go with a slightly reduced fuel amount. The gamble being that the rain comes on relatively early. That's what we're banking on here. Is we're banking on early rain, so that Vanessa can potentially, you know, maximize her pit stop aggression to come out with some kind of advantage. It's a bad idea, frankly, but you know we're going to do it anyway. Right from the get-go, I want you both absolutely shredding everything you've got. We'll ease that down relatively quickly. So on the grid here, it's Wu Yao and Silvera on the front of the grid. If you say, I don't really understand why, but there it is. Then you've got Trolley Fodder and Swan's Plastic, expected form of poor there on the second row, followed by Mush and Mendez on row 3. In 7th place, we've got Scott Price and then Sarah Thomas, followed by Salmon Longo and Play Moto on the 5th row. Then the Vexala driver Ruto alongside Hero of the Revolution Nicholas Hazel. In 13th, it's Wolfrath and then Megahertz, Kitasato, Massilela, I don't know. Then Hong Lao and Hans 00. And then on the 10th row, it's Finger Puppet and Chris Shaw. They seem to have pulled the names out of the hat for this particular lineup. And that works for me, given that I've ended on the front of the grid. But here we go. The lights turn red. And the lights turn green. And we're away. We're going to focus on Silvera to start with. See how she gets away at the start of the race. Chasing down Wu Yao. If she doesn't look competitive, we'll change her strategy up relatively quickly. But let's not forget, we are intending to bring her in early for a bit of a pit stop. She's already having trouble holding off trolley fodder, which is not great. But you know, we live in hope that she can do something, as Wu Yao is seriously extending his lead already. We've got massive tyre wear happening almost immediately as Silvera drops to third. We'll also drop the engine mode down as well, given that she has the less reliable parts in place. Meanwhile, Hazel is in 10th place. We'll ease him off some as well, because that's the same thing to do. Hazel is currently battling away with one of the plastics there as Silvera drops to 5th. But to be fair, she doesn't have the car. She is not driving our better car, despite having had a good pre-season and coming into this with decent form. Makes me look like a bit of a Charlie for giving her the worst car. She loses all the places in the world, and Hazel's in that pack that's following, and he ended up losing position there as well, which is absolutely terrible. Flipping it, she's going through them tyres like a fat guy goes through hot dogs, as I believe is the statement. Right, we're going to drop Silvera. Beg your pardon. We're going to drop Silvera to conservation mode. In fact, no, we're not. We're going to. She can burn the fuel, but save those tyres. Those tyres are falling apart at a rate I don't fully believe. As Hazel now in 13th. What happened to you, man? You were doing. My goodness, what's the matter with you? So your house burned down. Pull yourself together. Come on, get up there. Where's the aggression? You're supposed to really enjoy a bit of overtaking. Prove it as we up the tempo to keep the race excitement palpable. He's just not feeling it. Right, that's it. Let's monkey with your strategy. Go on, rinse them. You've got a best engine we've got available. Do not lose another place, or I will be mispleased. I'll be entirely dissatisfied. Let's have a quick look at the forecast. It's still forecasting sunshine, so the early pit stop for Silvera is possibly not going to be beneficial in the slightest to our overall objective. But I have not seen a pack quite as condensed as this in a race in quite some time, and it's only going to be a matter of time now before there is an accident of some kind, because these are a lot of aggressive drivers being aggressive in a confined space. Oh, hello, tyre wear. All right, yeah, all right. Ease back a bit then. His tyres ain't got a lot left in them, and they are slightly on fire. Hazel's tyres, as both of my drivers. There you go, fat guy hot dogs. For the first time this season, as Hazel is in 12th, Silvera in 11th. Oh, dearie me. Well, okay, based on the tyres that Hazel's got going on, I think I might even bring him in first. No, stuff him, he can stay out. We'll switch to softer tyres for Silvera. We will fill her up entirely. And hopefully, let's have a look at the park condition here. Everything looks poor. Good. Risk of 14% on a fast pit stop. We'll give that a go, certainly. And we'll see how we get on with that. And we'll bring Hazel in pretty much the following lap. As Vanessa goes in, tyres changed, refueling is going on. This looks pretty clean. Nice pit stop. Good time. Well done, lads. Well done. Excellent work, team. Hazel's tyres are completely hammered. He has completely caned his tyres. This is not great. Park condition all looks respectable, apart from the brakes and the suspension, but we didn't fix them up anyway. So 12-second pit stop, but 25% risk. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, we might. No, do we really? Yes, we're going to chance it. You get nothing for being safe in Formula Europe, and the way we're going right now, we're going to get nothing anyway. As Silvera is down in 19th flipping place. Hazel there conservatively conserving his way in conservatively to the pits. And we got tyres done, fuel done, jack done. Another clean pit stop from the team there. It's good to see them putting the effort in, and we'll now attack a little more. Now I did go with the best tyres available to me for some reliability. So this is particularly disheartening to see us go through that initial batch of tyres quite so quickly. It would have been nice for those to last longer. So Hazel's in 20th, Silvera's in 18th. We do have the front runners of the pack still to come in, but the sky does appear to be darkening, and the temperature's dropping around lap 16. Maybe this means that rain is on the way, and a second pit stop is going to be required. My goodness me, you're going through them tyres, mate. Just ease it down, will you? Calm down on the tyres. Calm down. Just relax. As the current form of 2.8, Hazel's driving like a donkey, as we've come to expect on race day. He's just not going to deliver as he continues to lose ground over the drivers ahead of him. I've said it before, I'll say it again, he does not deserve the best car. Why I keep giving him the best car is frankly beyond me. His numbers look good, but his actual race day performance is not. And with that, we turn our attention to our last best hope. With great form is Silvera. She's a little off the pace, but frankly, I'm still expecting some failures from cars during the race, and therefore she may be able to benefit from that. Hopefully, Hazel's overtaken Longo. Longo's in the pits, Hazel. I'm not giving you a medal for that. You're going to have to work a bit harder than that. The Silvera is 4.1 seconds, well, pretty much 4 seconds dead on behind Shaw, but that doesn't really matter because Masilella has just overtaken, and that's really going to be the story of this opening race. Is not good enough. Playmoto's been in twice to the pits and is still ahead of Hazel. This should give you some idea of just how bad it is. Megahertz there dropping down with some kind of mechanical issue going on, and the rain is due to start at around lap 18, beg your pardon. So I think a lap 18, lap 19 pit could be beneficial. How are we looking? Tyres aren't looking so hot there. Oh dear, we've only got 35% left on the tyres for Silvera. 47 for Hazel, which is a little better, but he's, a donkey. So, his form is now 0.3. Terrible Nicholas Hazel. I do not want to bring Silvera in. I want to keep her out for as long as I possibly can. I'm going to drop her tyre usage back to conserving them. If we can keep her out for another couple of laps, that's really going to help us out. Meanwhile, you can push there, Sunshine. It makes no difference. Because all these drivers that are coming in for their second pit stop at the moment, they are going to be on the wrong tyres when the rain starts. But I want to be out at the start of the rain so that we're not taking intermediates on a dry track. And that means 2 more laps for Silvera, and we're in business. I'm feeling that intermediates are the way to go, given the likelihood that this rain is not just a passing fad and actually becomes the new hotness. We'll just have to see how that pans out. Silvera is holding 9th right now, largely due to pit stops. She's going to lose those places, but you want to pit for fresh tyres, get over it. This is all pretty edge of the seat stuff, and the likelihood of whoa, just ease off on the fuel there, Vanessa, and you too there, disgrace. Let's see if we See if we can't hold some position before coming in. I mean, she's going to lose a couple more places probably before heading in. As soon as that hits 1 lap, there we go, 1 lap to go, pit. Right, we will switch to intermediates. This is very chancy because the rain is just about to start on the next lap. So it's likely to start while she's in. She's not going to benefit from that initially, but I do not want her to have to come in twice. As this is, the timing just is not in my favour. There we go. 13 laps remaining after the pit stop. We'll fill up, and we're just going to have to hope that we can make this happen with no more pitting required. We're going to have to fix the engine. Well, that's slowed that pit just stopped down then. Well, there we go. That's. And here comes the rain. So Silvera now is coming in at pretty much bang on the right time. Fill up, park condition, fine. Pit strategy, chance it, off we go. But there's a high chance that both drivers are in the pits at the same time. But Hazel is going to get there first. Now, this is all a question of how much water is about to be dumped on the track. Because Silvera's got low fuel. Easy on the fuel. As Hazel comes in, front jack's done, tyres, refuel, get out, go. Okay, there's another good pit stop there as Silvera comes in. Now, we're going to need to get the spanners out, use a mallet on the offending pieces of engine, as she too goes out on intermediates, which puts Hazel, Silvera, Massinella, Longo out on intermediates while everybody else is out on slippery tyres. This is high drama with Bulldozer Power back for season 3. We're going to make it happen, but I don't think it's going to happen in this race, as both Wolfrath and Price have come in for their 3rd pit stop and exited again without drama. There we go. Plastic there is having some difficulty. I can't say I'm surprised. A typically lackluster performance from Plastic, who is well known for not being terrific at that. Right, okay, we'll up the aggression here a bit. Now we need 9th to make some money. I don't think we're going to do it. I don't think we're going to do it unless there is disaster. And actually, this is the first opening day I can recall where there hasn't been some kind of significant retiree as part of the running. Somehow Thomas is still out there in 2nd place, as is 00. There's not a huge amount of water on the track. Maybe they're hoping to hold on for the remainder of the race. But given that just about everybody else is running intermediates here, it's very hard to say. Silvera there getting decidedly upbeat at the fact that she made an overtake while someone was in the pits. Hello, what's this? Mush there with some kind of penalty going on, but we shouldn't see that as anything unusual. But there's something is off with the gear shift for Silvera. Do we bring her in or do we chance it? We'll chance it for now. There's still 8 laps to go. Actually, we'll bring her in. Flipping heck. We won't need any more fuel, but fix the gearbox, will you? Go on. Should have given her the better car. I think we can all see that now. That had we given her the better car, we might be in a slightly stronger place right now. But as mentioned, my overall objective here is simply to have both cars finish the race, and so far it looks like we're doing the right thing on that front. Hazel is 5 seconds behind P. Ruto. He's now in 8th place. But there are still 7 laps to run, and as such, anything could happen, particularly when his form is as diabolical as it has been for this race so far. In fact, for the whole race weekend, Mr. Hazel has been woefully underperforming. Wolfrath has retired with a mechanical issue from first. high drama here at the Black Sea. And this is the kind of thing I'm hoping to see more of. All those cheeky people that were stripping bits out of the car in order to try and make it perform better. And it certainly looks like Wolfrath was one of those who was trying to gain an edge over the opposition by unnecessarily caning his, stripping, a couple of bolts off here and there to hopefully go a little bit faster. But it's ended up costing him. And we're going to capitalise as Hazel reaches the giddy heights of 6th. I can't see it holding. There's only 5 laps to go. He's got tyres left in him. He's got fuel left in him. He's got not quite enough fuel left in him. We're going to have to watch the fuel there. Silvera's in much better position, but then she's in 17th and is largely out of it. But how are the leaders doing? So Hazel's 28 second off first, holding a 2-second cushion over Mendez. And then what are we looking at? Like a 7-8 second cushion over Finger Puppet. And that's the place that we're looking at here, because staying inside top 9 means that we get a reasonable amount of money out of this race. It looks like he might run low on fuel, so we'll drop his fuel strategy down a smidge, as there's 3 laps left to go, but he has over 3 laps to complete. So we might have to drop that back a little bit more, which I really do not want to do. But the level of disaster that we'll hit if we go too aggressive on the fuel situation, it doesn't bear thinking about, given that we've been up as high as 6th. The tyres are wearing down. That's okay. I've just told him to go a little easier on it. We've got a cushion. It's just a case of riding our fortunes now. As 2 drivers go into the pits and Hazel's up to 4th. Hello there. What's going on? Problem with the brakes. Just ignore it, Silvera. There's not enough race left. Hazel's in 4th place. Can we hold on? We've got less than a second over the driver behind us, but there is less than a lap left. We're gonna stick everything on to no, not that. Cancel. Flipping it. Press the wrong button and get so excited. As we're desperately going to try and hold on to 4th. It would be one of the best finishes we'd ever had. I thought that was it. We haven't got the fuel left. Why am I... Oh, because the flipping lead driver had gone through. Oh, heck. Okay, well, this is... We're not... Well, okay, he's 15th. All right, I'm less bothered. We might drop to 5th here, because I think that's Mendez immediately behind this blue-flagged car. But the important thing is that we finished. Just punch it, son. Punch it. What do we get? 5th. Beaten at the line. I punched it too late. 5th, though. 5th. Nicholas Hazel finishes in 5th. How about that? Well, that's the kind of result that I really had not anticipated, as Price comes in 1st place ahead of 00 and Fodder and Mendez, the cheeky geezer who done me on the line. Well, it turned out that my pit strategy was absolutely on the money there, and that was almost certainly the thing that made me perform in the way that we did. Not entirely sure why those drivers had to stop very late on. It looked like Moto and Ruto had to go in for a fresh set of tyres, which baffles the hell out of me. But making only 2 pit stops is what carried Hazel to a dramatic 5th place finish. Significantly better than we had anticipated. Disappointment reigns for Silvera, who manages only 17th. But given her form, we should definitely have given her the better car. Scrutineering's underway. We've got nothing to worry about here. Our car's completely legit. Certainly, they were too legit to quit this weekend. So there we are, confirming Hazel there up in 5th. And that puts him in 5th overall, given that this is the first race of the season. As for the team, that gives us a very handsome 6th place start for the year. Will we be able to hold on? Too soon to tell by a long way. But Dragon Race Team China there with only 7 points being beaten even by Predator, that's got to stick in the craw there a little. On the social media, Anita Kyla Luria, Bulldozer Pack, keep it up, good work. World Sports Network, Scott Price wins the Black Sea Grand Prix for Vexala. And Florencia Cezurak, I'm pretty sure that's right. Oh my God, Scott Price won. My psychic told me this would happen. Hashtag, I should have placed a bet. Hashtag, get out of it. Right. Well, there we go. That will wrap up this first race of the season. We're pretty pleased, actually, with the performance of Nicholas Hazel, but clearly we have a lot of work to do. I potentially should have waited until after we were on a loading screen for this, but I couldn't help myself. What have we got changes there? Look at the driver stats. They're just appalling levels of quality coming out of Hazel this weekend. We're going to evaluate form a little more closely before the next race and see what we do with that. But coming from a 1.7 form level overall to actually be able to lock in 5th place in the season, that was a good place to start. Anyway, I've been Colonel Failure. Follow at Bulldozer Power on Twitter if you want to keep up with all of the gossip throughout the week before the next race. I don't even look after that account. I'm not entirely sure who does, but they seem to be jolly enthusiastic. Meanwhile, please subscribe to this channel to make sure you don't miss the rest of the season, and chuck a like at this one if you are as pleased as I am with the dramatic result there for Nicholas Hazel. I've been Colonel Failure. I'll catch up with you next time. Thanks for watching. Cheerio.